What's good, everyone? This is C Hendo back once again. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Now, it's been 5 or so months, and I'm excited to do this reaction, or I guess we could say a follow-up on the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X. I do have both. You can see that Series X right there. You can see that PlayStation 5. Man, look, initially, I think if you go back and watch some of my older videos, they do look crazy. Like far as like my reactions to everything. And I sort of contradicted myself because now I do have a totally different opinion about both systems. So before we get started, once again, I do need you to hit that like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Also in your comments, leave your gamer tag. And you can add me on both consoles. My gamer tag is C Hendo as the YouTube channel, and that's SEEHENDO, and that's SEEHENDO. So let's get to it. So the first thing I want to get to is these controllers. We got the PlayStation 5 DualShock controller, and we got the Xbox Series X controller. Now, I know you're looking like, what is that blue Xbox controller? Well, so me and my wife just moved, and I cannot find my black Xbox Series X controller. Now, there is a Elite controller behind me, but you guys already know about the Elite controller, the Elite 2 controller. But I want to talk about both of these controllers real quick, and my honest opinion about both after 5 months or so. So, for me, in my original video, I did say I like the Xbox Series X controller, just off the rip, because the way it felt. Like, I have sort of like fat, big hands, right, and fingers and stuff, so like, I like the feel of the controller. And yeah, I do have a battery pack back there, which we will discuss that as well. But I will say, if I had to choose between these two, the PlayStation 5 controller to me is better for the technology. Now, if I can take the Xbox Series X controller, and rumor has it that we are going to get a Xbox Series X controller with haptic feedback, that would be key. But the PlayStation 5 controller, ladies and gentlemen, it is a thing of beauty. When I tell you, when you're playing games like, I was playing Astro's Playroom, whatever you want to call it, and I was playing a couple of the games that I like to play, like Cold War. You know, I play a lot of sports games, so Madden 21, which is a terrible game, but that's another story. NBA 2K, even Grand Theft Auto, the haptic feedback is amazing on these games, and that gives you a certain feel for the game. Whereas with the Xbox controller, it has a great feel to it. The triggers are nice. Seems like it's a little bit smaller than the initial, like, you know, Xbox One, Xbox 360 controllers. Obviously, it's way smaller than the OG Xbox. But I would say, like, for me personally, I do like the PlayStation 5 controller and what it offers. Now, when I play my fighting games, you know, like the Mortal Kombat of the world, Street Fighter, Killer Instincts, obviously one of those games are on the Xbox. I would prefer to play with the Xbox controller. Now, in my past history, I would love to play with the Xbox controller with shooting games. But man, I'm gonna tell you what, playing Call of Duty with this PlayStation controller is amazing. Now, the second thing about these controllers is the battery life. Unfortunately, with the Xbox, it does come with AA batteries, but I did buy that battery pack that comes with Xbox. You could buy it, it's like an Energizer one. I'll post the stuff in the description for that, but you obviously know the PlayStation battery is built in. If I had to choose, I think the simplicity of the PlayStation controller that you could plug in with a USB-C, and you can charge it. I do have a charging thing, so you see my PlayStation. I actually bought the official charging dock. The controller seems to charge faster with that. Maybe someone has a different opinion, leave your comment on that. But I will say the controllers, the charging battery life is good on the PlayStation 5. Other than that, response time, I mean, I'm not noticing too much of a difference. I do have some general lag with the PlayStation controller, and that may be a little concerning. That controller over there, I know, I had to end up, I might have to get a new one because my left analog stick sort of lags on it. It seems like it's moving on its own. I don't know what happened. I think I dropped my controller when we were moving on the floor, on hardwood floors, and yeah, it messed up. But other than that, I mean, like I said, the controller-wise, I'm going to give the edge to the PlayStation 5. And like I said, I love the Xbox Series X controller. And that's no slight to them, but I think that haptic feedback technology is a winner. And I think when we had to go that part of it, I will say the PlayStation 5 is key to that. So yeah, controller, I'm going. The next thing I want to talk about is the dashboard, UI, whatever you want to call it. So behind me, you do see the PlayStation 5 dashboard. Obviously, Xbox sort of stuck with what they had, and initially on my first reaction, I said the Xbox dashboard was better because obviously it's simplistic. I'm used to it. I'm not a Windows guy, but when it comes to the dashboard, it is a lot simplistic to get through the Xbox dashboard. But I will say from a beautiful look standpoint, 4K, obviously, the PlayStation 5's dashboard is a lot better. Now, navigating it, different story. I know you got to press the home button twice to get somewhere certain areas. I'm getting used to it. As a person who predominantly gamed on Xbox throughout these years, I did have the PS3 and I did have a PlayStation 4. I did use my Xbox more. And I'm so used to that dashboard. But I will say the dashboard on the PlayStation 5 is a beauty. It's a thing of beauty. I'm not gonna lie. Look at the Xbox dashboard. It's still great to me. I like the dashboard because the tiles is very simple. But yeah, the PlayStation 4, and that may be the reason why it does take up a lot more memory on your console because it is 4K. I'm pretty sure Xbox is gonna do something to sort of combat that and make maybe a new look to it. But yeah, if you want to go off of simplicity, the Xbox is way more simple to me that you can use the dashboard on. The PlayStation 5 has the more beautiful one. I do like the fact it has the music when you go to a game, and like on Grand Theft Auto, if I didn't have this muted, it will play a game on there, it'll play some music on there that represents sort of like the game. Spider-Man Miles Morales, which I didn't mention in the control part, it has its own music soundtrack. Of course, it plays that when you go to the game on the menu, but I will say the PlayStation 5 does have a more beautiful look to it, and I say the Xbox has the better dashboard for us, like compatibility, like going through it and scrolling through it. So yeah, I think it's pretty much even. I think it's just choice of look on it. If you want the beautiful presentation, I would say the PlayStation 5, and if you want the simplicity, I think the Xbox is definitely more simple. So I would say that on the dashboard. All right, so the next thing we're gonna talk about the games. Now, I know this is always a hot topic conversation because there's a part of you that would say easily the PlayStation, right? Because of the exclusivity. You got Miles Morales. You still got Spider-Man Remastered. You got Ghost of Tsushima. You got, Last of Us 2. You got God of War. You got all these games on PlayStation, right? And then you look at Xbox. There really wasn't any major time exclusives on it, but the Game Pass. And to me, the Game Pass makes a big edge when it comes to the overall gaming catalog. When you combine Game Pass with the fact that there is backwards compatibility, which is my number one gripe on the PlayStation 5, there's no true backwards compatibility. Now, you can go on the PlayStation Store and buy some of these games, and you got them digitally, but I got a lot of old PlayStation disc games. I am a retro game junkie, and I collect these games, but I can't play them. And that's because I don't even have a PS3, a fat PS3, the original one, so I need to get one, but I got a lot of games, and unfortunately, I won't be able to play them on the PlayStation 5 because it's not truly backwards compatible. Whereas on the Xbox, I can plug in Left 4 Dead 2, I can plug in some of my old Xbox 360 games, and they work fine. And like I said, the combination of Game Pass, there's a million games on Game Pass. That's a couple games I'm trying to get into right now, like Deliver Us the Moon, We Happy Few, a lot of games like on Xbox. I believe We Happy Few is on PlayStation, if I'm not mistaken, but at the end of the day, Game Pass is amazing. I know it costs a little bit more, but the price for it and everything that you get with it, that's amazing. And then you combine that with EA Access, which both have. Now, the one tidbit is this. As a sports gamer, it is amazing that on Xbox, Fight Night is available as a backwards compatible as well on EA Access, but on PlayStation, you cannot play Fight Night. So if I had to go off the gaming catalog, I will say, obviously PlayStation does have the more new modern games, more exclusive, time exclusives, but at the end of the day, you can only play those time exclusives, those new games for so long, especially the single player ones. They don't have too much DLC or stuff that you can add to it, but whereas Xbox, you got Game Pass, and comparing that to PlayStation Now, whatever their version of it is, I would say the Game Pass destroys it. And obviously we got the news with Bethesda being official, which is a huge deal for Microsoft. There's other things, like I said, other variables to it. But overall, I will say the overall gaming, not the new exclusives. Now, exclusives we all know. The PlayStation 5 wins that war. But when we're talking about overall gaming, man, come on, man. The Xbox Series X, they got tons of games. Like that Game Pass has a million games on there, I swear. So I would say it's pretty even, but if I did get the ultimate edge to it, I would say Xbox because Game Pass. Hardware and I guess you could say, how we can name this? Hardware and speed. Hardware and speed, let's go there. Hardware and speed. So for me, the look of the console is gonna be added to this hardware. So when I look at my Xbox Series X, as you see, and you look at the PlayStation 5, for me, the Xbox Series X looks better. I think it's an overall better looking console. I know people call it a refrigerator, they call it a barbecue pit, everything you can name of it. It just looks better. The PlayStation 5 it's massive, it's huge. I'm not a big fan of it. I did not want a white console because my last white console was an Xbox, I want to say One S or whatever came out after the One X. I had that console that was a white one, and man, it stayed dirty. And I'm pretty clean and pretty neat about my consoles, but I would say overall look, I am definitely gonna go with the Xbox Series X. Now, hardware, and let's add speed into this. What I mean by speed, downloading games, internet speed. Downloading games is a little unique to me on both of these consoles, because I will say this, in the past, the Xbox seemed to download faster with games, but for some odd reason, PlayStation has the faster download speed to me. Now I do have like Spectrum internet, and I have the 1 gigabyte speed, like, or whatever is the 1G speed, the highest speed that they offer, and it's pretty fast. My download speed is pretty fast. My upload speed is pretty fast. It's not that I'm saying the Xbox is like slower, but it is a noticeable difference on the PlayStation how fast it is. And I'm going to give the edge to PlayStation on that. It seems like it's faster. Like, it didn't take me any time to re-download GTA 5 on my PlayStation, but on my Xbox, it seemed like it took a year. And I don't know if that was just at the moment, at the time, I will say that. Now, internet speed, my PlayStation doesn't have it seems like when I do the download speed, the test and everything, my Xbox has the faster speed. So I think we all know the servers on Xbox are obviously a lot better. Maybe that's changed for some of you guys, but you know, for me, I will say the Xbox, like overall speed, like the internet speed, the servers, Xbox is still better. Other than hardware, sound, I guess you can make that a thing. The sound of the consoles, I will say I don't hear anything from any one of them. I know people say some of these make loud noise when we play certain. I haven't heard a thing from any. And I leave mine. So I'm gonna say this off the rip. I have left my console, my PlayStation 5 on for like 3 days straight a lot of times, and nothing has gone wrong with it. And same thing with my Xbox. I guess I could tie this into like crashing. So I do have a lot of crashing issue on my PlayStation 5 when I play certain games. I've had maybe a couple of crashes when I played Cyberpunk on Xbox, which Cyberpunk is a whole nother story and a disappointment for all of us as gamers. But yeah, I would say my PlayStation 5, I've had more crashing. It's like my games are stopping, and like in the middle of a game, it just freezes up and goes to the menu. So overall, I think it's pretty even, because like you can take the hardware, the download speed and everything. Like I've been saying, you may have a different opinion on it, so leave your comments on that. But I will say that I would say it's pretty much even. It's just off your aesthetic, how you look at it. I just think the Xbox just looks way better. It looks way better. I just don't know how. The PlayStation 5 looks crazy to me, man. That thing is huge. You see how big it is behind me? And then you look at my Xbox right here, it just looks like a little tiny box next to it. And I thought it was gonna be the other way around. But man, yeah, I would say it's pretty much even on hardware and speed. Sound, I won't get into the gaming sound because we all got different headsets. Unfortunately, I still cannot find the new Xbox headset, the new wireless headset that has the dials that you can turn on the side. And I cannot find a PlayStation 5 wireless headset, that one that came with the PlayStation 5 that you could buy. So I can't tell you on sound. I use my Turtle Beach, whatever that headset is behind me, and I got a SteelSeries on the PlayStation that I use, and I mean, I can't really tell the difference in sound, so I won't go with the actual in-game sound. But like I said, hardware, it depends on your taste and how you look at it, like for as like the actual look of the console. But I will say download speed, PlayStation, and internet speed, I'm still going with. So one little cool thing I do want to talk about, like the mobile apps for both of these consoles. So obviously you have a PlayStation app, and you have an Xbox app. So I do like these apps because when I'm on the go and I see a lot of people, we talk gaming, I say, hey man, what's your gamer tag? And then I have them put their gamer tags in. I will say this, navigating those two apps real quick, I will say that PlayStation's app is a lot easier. That may be unique. Even though I think the Xbox app is better, the PlayStation app is a lot easier to use. So that's just real quick on that. Now, I do want to talk about, where can we go with this now? I don't know. But I will say this. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and close it out. Let's talk which console should you buy. And I don't really want to tell you which one to buy because I think, honestly, if you're a gamer, you got to have both. It just depends on your taste. Like, if you've been an Xbox guy this whole time, stick with Xbox. Now, if you want to play some of the time exclusives that are coming out, like the Spider-Man, God of War, Last of Us, different ones, definitely try the PlayStation 5. If you're a PlayStation guy, I would tell you to stick with PlayStation, but I would also tell you, check out the Xbox and what the Game Pass offers. And look, MLB The Show is going to be on both consoles, so you really can't use that argument anymore. The only reason why you got it is because of the MLB The Show, so you can't use that. I say, man, both consoles are great. I enjoy what both consoles doing. I am a little disappointed at the game catalog we're getting, and I understand that, and I'm not talking about like older games, but newer games. I understand that COVID play a factor in that, which Cyberpunk was ruined by that. But I will say that overall, both consoles have been great, enjoyable. I still play some of my older games on, like GTA. That's probably my #1 game I play on both. I do dabble in the Call of Duty every once in a while. I haven't really played Apex. I'm trying to get into it, but different games that are just universal games that you can play on it on both consoles, I play. I will say this, resale has been a big issue with this. As a person that's part of the sneaker community, I am also in the gaming community, and I do see that the PlayStation 5s are for resale as well as the Xbox. They have went down in price because I remember launch day, I got my PS5. I got it retail, obviously, because I was able to get it on pre-order through Amazon. And my Xbox, I got it at GameStop while waiting. And I did the pre-order on the Xbox, and I was, camped out for the pre-order. So, yeah, I would say, between the two, I would just say get what you like. And if you can afford both, get both. Because at the end of the day, I don't want you to be not maximize on just having one console and not be able to get that full potential out of both. I think both are going to be great in the future. I really think both of these consoles are going to get their max potential in 2022. I think that's when we're going to get this little sort of COVID thing out the way. And by the way, I got my COVID shot today, so I got my vaccine. I'm excited. Man, I ain't feeling nothing right now. I got the Pfizer one, so you guys can leave comments on that. Other than that, man, like I said, yeah, both consoles are definitely great. Yeah, it's gonna be a little disappointing if you are looking for a lot of new games to play because there's not many, and then some of the new games that are available, they aren't great. Like, Madden wasn't great this year. I mean, NBA 2K, it is what it is, but like, you still got Spider-Man Miles Morales, which is a masterpiece in my mind. This new Batman Gotham game that's coming out, it's gonna be a thing of beauty on both. I'm excited to see that. So, like I said, we got games coming. Deathloop. I cannot wait to play Deathloop. I'm telling y'all right now. To me, MLB The Show and Deathloop, they're coming up, I believe, this coming up month or next month. So I'm excited to see those games. But other than that, like I said, get what you like. I would say get both. I'm not going to be biased and say, hey, get the Xbox because I love Microsoft and I've always loved the Xbox. I'm not going to be biased and say get PlayStation because I currently like my PlayStation 5 a little bit more. Both of them offer great things. So I would advise you to get your hands on one if you haven't got your hands on any. But other than that, like I said, I appreciate you guys tuning in. Once again, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Leave comments. Now, I know my channel has a lot of different things on there. So for a lot of people that are new to this channel, I am a sports reporter. I also cover entertainment and music, as well as I talk sneakers. So when you come to my channel, you're going to see a whole different thing. You're going to see me interviewing some of your favorite athletes, but we talk about the things like this, gaming and stuff. You may come to my channel and you see a press conference from the NBA. I cover the NBA and Major League Baseball. Shout out to those teams that I do cover in person and everything. So once again, I appreciate you guys for staying loyal. I'm sitting at over 3,000 subscribers right now. I hope to get to 10K by the end of the year. We'll see, but at the same time, I just appreciate everyone for spreading the word. And once again, this is C Hendo. My real name is Chris Henderson, but you can call me C Hendo or call me Hendo, whatever you want to call me. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Please hit that like and subscribe button and share this video on all your major platforms, Facebook, etc., Instagram, even if you need to cut it and put it on TikTok. Definitely do that and leave your gamer tag in the comments. And once again, my gamer tag on both is just Chendo, the name of the YouTube channel. So you can find me pretty easy. And that's game on, y'all. So I appreciate you guys for tuning in, and we're out.